Hello and welcome to SA Today for Tuesday, October 14th. We have a great show coming up tonight. A new study space for students, SU's first gay male fraternity, updates on the latest Ebola victims, and we have Student Association PR Director Austin Golovsky live in studio. I'm Will Gerhard. This is SA Today. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., students will once again be allowed on the second floor of Haven Hall. The space used to hold a dining hall before Ernie Davis opened. It will be open 24/7 as a study space with security present at all times. An email from the Director of Residential Life says that safety is their top priority. Syracuse University's first gay, bisexual, and progressive male fraternity just earned colony status. Delta Lambda Phi has been working for the past year to become recognized at SU. Although the fraternity first came to campus in 2003, they closed after just 3 semesters. The fraternity's goal is to separate themselves from stereotypes about gay men. The owner of Chuck's is pushing back on a court ruling. Stephen Theobald was told to pay just over $7,000 for not responding to a lawsuit from a debt collector. Theobald says he never received a copy of the complaint. A food distributor in Pennsylvania sued Chuck's for unpaid bills. Theobald's attorney said Chuck's might not have received all of their deliveries. It's still not sure how a Texas nurse contracted Ebola. Nina Pham tested positive for Ebola just one day after caring for the now deceased Thomas Duncan. State and federal health officials are looking at protocols to see if spraying a virus-killing solution on workers would be effective in reducing the risk of contracting Ebola. Texas Mayor Mike Rawlings says doctors and nurses need our support.
They're heroes. This is why they're brave individuals. These doctors and nurses need to be lifted up in our prayers, our thoughts, and we need to applaud them right now.
Ebola can only be contracted through cuts and is contained in bodily fluids. Some Syracuse fans may be disappointed to see that former SU forward Jeremy Grant might not be playing in tonight's game between the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks in the Carrier Dome. Grant is in Syracuse, but has missed the 76ers' first 3 preseason games, including a practice on Sunday, because of an ankle injury. SU men's soccer team is reaching new heights. The Orange are ranked second in their division by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. This is their highest ranking in a number of years, breaking last week's standing of 4th place. This during a season where ACC coaches predicted the Orange to finish last in their division and 10th out of 12 teams overall. When we come back, we'll be talking about the future of sexual assault resources on campus and what SA is trying to do just about it. We'll be right back.
Kickflip 6 stairs takes determination. So we're getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. Well, teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're gonna be hanging out a little bit more.
The third listening meeting about the restructuring of sexual assault resources here on campus is set for Monday, October 27th. The meeting will be from 4 to 5:30 in Shine Room 304. The Chancellor's Workgroup on Sexual Assault wants students and faculty to point out any gaps in services and support. Joining us now in studio is Austin Golovsky to talk about what SA is looking for in the Fast Forward goals. Austin, thanks so much for joining us. Great to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
So Austin, pretty big news coming from campus this summer. The Advocacy Center closed.
Yeah, I think that it really shocked a lot of students. It was done in such a way where the news was kind of broken to us, via email, sort of a bit awkwardly in the middle of the summer. And I know that a lot of students were very confused. They didn't really understand the university's motivations behind that.
Right, and Student Association has so much involvement with so many of those groups, and what was the Advocacy Center. It is surprising how quickly that just kind of came on. Like you said, students didn't really think this was the greatest idea initially. They didn't really open up to it. What has been the overarching student reaction, and why have they felt that way?
Well, SA certainly shared students' confusion, and as a result, we really tried to communicate with the administration and kind of get a better understanding of some of the underlying motivations as to why what happened. So the Advocacy Center, as it was, brought up concerns to the university that the confidentiality of the students that were utilizing its services, was not necessarily being maintained. So the university sought to restructure their entire sort of counseling program to maintain that confidentiality. Unfortunately, to answer your question, I think that students did not really get that message. They did not see that full picture, and as a result, we were all kind of taken aback by it.
So Austin, now there are plans for an all-inclusive campus wellness center. What exactly would that entail?
So I'm sure that you've heard about this whole Fast Forward initiative about all the positive reform on campus. It really opened the door for a lot of student input. So SA has 3 committees, one of which being the Student Engagement Committee, and a huge initiative of the Student Engagement Committee has been pursuing this sort of all-inclusive wellness center. So we're not just looking at counseling services, we're not just looking at student services, we're not just looking at health services. It's all of these things in one building, in one place, with the ultimate, I guess, sort of dream being that, if a student's sick or a student gets hurt, they can go, they can see their doctor, they can see their physician, they can have, the pharmacy in-house right there if they need any medication, and then they can literally just walk right down the hall to student services and, get any sort of holds placed on their homework, or they can get homework delivered to them, and really just take care of all of their problems in one place, so it's as easy as possible for them.
That is certainly an incredibly efficient system. So all of the wellness center on campus, in the past, if you're sick, you have to go here, and then if you need to get it,
you're all over the place.
You're going all over. So all of the wellness staff together under one program in one location for students. That's what's going on from here on out with this.
Absolutely, that's the dream. That is what SA is advocating for. And really to kind of switch the perspective a little bit, I think that oftentimes the administration gets a bad rap for potentially being disorganized, for not communicating effectively. But if you look at it, from the sort of framework that you were just putting forward, where students are running around, the faculty is also kind of trying to communicate with other faculty that's all over campus. So with this new all-inclusive wellness center, all of the faculty, all of the staff is going to be in the same place. So if there's a question, it's literally a walk down the hall, and everybody can work together, much more effectively, again, from that administrative point of view.
Yeah, that is, certainly a step in the right direction. And what you were saying about communication with the Student Association, Syracuse University is a pretty large campus. To effectively communicate with every student, that is incredibly difficult to do. And, email chains and texting chains or whatever the form of communication may be are only so effective, and they're only so easy to execute, really. But these committees have, from what it sounds like, from what you've been saying, have really done a pretty awesome job with identifying these problems and figuring out some solutions to go with them. So real quick before we close, this initiative that was chosen by this committee, for this new all-inclusive wellness center. What else is that committee really in charge of? What else do they bring for Student Association?
So the Student Engagement Committee is really sort of like the grassroots organizing. They target specific on-campus student issues, and they seek to create, work groups, focus groups, and subcommittees to kind of deal with those specific issues. The Advocacy Center is certainly a great example. I know that all of the talks about diversity were, certainly addressed by them. They helped host a couple focus groups and worked very well with the administration on that as well.
So, like you said, the Student Engagement Committee is one, but there's multiple committees in the Student Association to make sure. So, can you just, briefly, for those who don't know, highlight the other few committees that help Student Association run so strongly?
So we also have our Student Life Committee. Now, as opposed to student engagements, that's kind of like a rapid response team. Student Life focuses on the day-to-day of students. One of the things that they're currently working on, just to give an example, would be heat lamps at all the bus stops. We all know how incredibly cold it gets here during the winter, and to be able to have a heat lamp at all of the bus stations, especially for those South Campus kids, would be incredible. They also organize shuttles to Target, Wegmans. They're even doing some holiday-themed things where shuttles are taking students to pumpkin patches and things like that. And lastly, we have our Academic Affairs Committee, and they focus on not only improving how the educators teach the students, but also the process by which students evaluate the educators, and the educators themselves can kind of take control and improve their work.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming
absolutely.
on again.
Thank
It's
you.
great to have you back. Now, coming up after the break, we've got one gourd that came in like a wrecking ball. Stay with us.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 88 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 1,000% increase in the last 40 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on! I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Welcome back. Now, a new record has been set for the heaviest pumpkin in all of North America. It weighed in at 2,058 pounds. That was at the Safeway World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-Off. The event took place in California, yet only one Cali native took home the gold. I bet he never expected that to happen. And he got a pretty penny for it. How about $13,000 for the pumpkin? Quite a prize there for the winner of that competition. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of SA Today. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Citrus TV News for all breaking news on and surrounding the SU campus. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night, Syracuse.